welcome back to Max Outdoor. Today I'm going to put together a short video about my DIY kayak crate. Some of you may have seen the video that's on the channel from back when it was picnic point kayak fishing about when I built the thing. I originally sort of hastily planned it and executed it, and when I built it I made the rod holders and the anchor holder out of PVC and mounted them to the crate with just some little blocks of wood. I was never exactly satisfied with those little blocks of wood, so what I'm gonna do, since I'm the new owner of a 3D printer, is I'm gonna print some cradles that hold those things, and then, because I discovered that my kayak is actually designed to hold a crate like that, there's actually a little notch right in the back of the kayak for a crate. I'm going to readjust those accessories so that they allow me to use that notch the way it was meant to be used. I'm going to print the cradles and we're going to put it all together with some stainless steel screws and it'll look better. I'm Mac, this is Max Outdoor. Let's get started. I have already disassembled this crate because, to be honest with you, I've been messing around with this for a couple of days now. When you have the opportunity to build a perfect model of something from nothing, at least in my case, you tend to get a little uptight about getting it just the way you want it. So I have printed already cradles for this anchor holder once, 1.5 times, and I keep going, it could be better, it could be better. So there's a rabbit hole there with 3D printing, but that's a whole nother thing. So anyway, I've taken this all apart. I've got the anchor holder out, and as you saw at the beginning of the video, the cradles for the anchor holder are actually printing as I'm recording this right now. I have the rod holder cradles last night, which they're over here, and because I simplified the anchoring process with these, there's only 4 screws total that are going to hold this together. We're going to mount these cradles on here like this with some fasteners, and the fasteners are going to go all the way through and hold the whole thing together. So this is what it'll look like when it's all said and done, and it's going to mount right here. I'm having to change the arrangement of this a little bit so that it fits in this notch. So these rod holders are going to go from being roughly centered the way they were to being kind of at the back. But that's okay because it allows me to also use those 2 rod holders right there, and it kind of still works out as a 4 rod holder setup. If they were too close together, they'd work, but you risk, crashing them into each other or getting lines tangled up or whatever. So moving them back like this is going to work out just great. So let me get some fasteners and we'll put those on there as they are. Okay, so there is our fastenered, is that a word? Our dual rod holder with the fasteners in it. Too. What we're going to do is just going to bolt it on there like I did before, although it appears that I'm going to have to drill some extra holes in this to get it where I want it to be. What I'm going to do is attach this with the bottom fasteners and then just match drill through it from the top fasteners, and everything should just line right up, theoretically. What did I do with my wrench? I lost my wrench. I found my wrench. I'm gonna oversize these holes in the crate quite a bit to give myself some room to move this around a bit, because everything with regard to the plastic is sort of fluid. So we're gonna just give ourselves some room to move. Just like that. And there's that installation. Now I have these rod holders set so that they are set back away from this ridge that's right here, and they'll work. And so that gives me 2 rod holders that are vertical and 2 rod holders that go out at an angle, and all is right with the world. The next step is to install the anchor holder, which will go right here just like it did before, but it will be tilted up at more of a 45-degree angle, like that. So that's it. Now we wait for those cradles to finish printing, so I'll see you in 3 hours. It's been a bit more than 3 hours. In fact, it's been almost 24 hours, but that's no fault of the printing. I got into something else and it ended up being the next day. We're ready to rock with these cradles. They finished up beautifully. They are like that. 2 of those, and they're ready to go. This is the 3D product, the real product from the 3D design that I clipped in on at the beginning half of the video, and it still amazes me that you can think of something in your head, draw a picture of it on a computer, and then make it real. It's just crazy. Anyway. And that's how that fits. It fits really well. It's like, I mean, obviously you're dealing with measurements and math rather than guessing and grinding like I always do. Oh, and one more thing. I finally got the little drain plug thing that's gonna go in the back of this, right here. Ow, that was loud. That was really loud. There it is. So now my anchor won't fall out and I don't have to put a bolt through it to keep it from falling out. That's the situation as it's going to be. The most difficult thing about this particular endeavor is making sure these cradles are parallel to each other. The other ones, because there's two radii in there, it's quite a bit easier. This one, not so much. I think we got it there. Groovy. Okay. Look at that. Just like we planned it that way. And there it is. Lined up, fits good. I'm going to put the rest of these screws in here with a tiny little drill bit. And it's in there. Upper cradle was less cooperative than I wanted it to be, but it still fits. Super solid, that's awesome. Put all my stuff back in there. Let's start with the anchor. I'm excited to have a place to store my little anchor. Oh yeah, now I need to work on the anchor trolley. There's the next DIY.